Hi everyone, Vegas from Critic here, Jeffrey K. Howard, here to review The Man Who Knew Infinity, starring Dave Patel and Jeremy Irons. I have to admit, the movie's about a mathematician and about a brilliant mind of math. It takes place in 1914. I'll go into that in a second. I'm just really have a lot of respect for people, for men of science, and also for people who know math, because I was really bad in math. I don't, am I a right brainer or a left brainer? I'm creative. I love to write screenplays and short stories and make up skits and do drama and acting and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to like logic and math, I have always been horrible in it. I mean horrible. I had pre-algebra my senior year in high school. Yeah, that's how bad it was. I mean, I got straight F's in math all through high school and all through junior high. And I just, when I look at numbers, when I look at fractions, when I look at all that, I'm not going to add, multiply, subtract, divide. I can do that basic thing to get through. But anything above that, I don't understand it, no matter how much you tell me. Now, I have college degrees, don't get me wrong, and I struggled with my math classes that I took 3 or 4 times over, hired tutors, did all these things. Why am I telling you all this? Because this movie, The Man Who Knew Infinity, is about a mathematician that came, a brilliant mathematician that came out of nowhere. In 1914, there was an Indian kid named, I'm gonna get his name right because they made even a joke about it in the movie. It is Sarisa Rasmussen, and he was a brilliant theorist who came out of the poorest village in the south of India. I mean, you would not believe it, in 1914, still under British rule. And he meets up with G.H. Hardy, played by Jeremy Irons, who was sent his theories and convinced him to come to Trinity College in England, in London, to work with him to get published. And of course, if this sounds kind of like a familiar story, yeah, we have the theory of everything, you know, and we also have A Beautiful Mind and The Imitation Game, all about people who are outsiders, who were shunned, who had some sort of disability or some sort of racial thing, as we have with this film, because he's Indian, he's, you know, and so you see this movie where he's based on true events that I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about, because they're talking about specific theories and what he's discovered, but they make you understand it, that you don't have to be kind of a mathematician to understand how it works. And Jeremy Irons is married to his work. Okay, he's this brilliant professor who doesn't have any family, who doesn't have any friends. He's almost shunned at the college because he's bringing this Indian kid in, this poor kid who just thinks only in the most amazing mathematical formulas. And back home, he's got a wife, and he's waiting for him to send for her and all that. So he has all this emotion in him, but he's also a brilliant mathematician. So there's this really unique friendship that evolves between Patel and Jeremy Irons, their characters. I'm not going to try to say their names again because they're long. Well, Hardy and Ramamusen. It's also set during World War I, and it's just an amazing story, and it's based on true events. And I tried to find out some more research on this character Rasmussen, but it's just an amazing. I'm looking at my notes here because I love how the movie uses the language of math, and they describe the opening sequence. The opening of the movie, you have Jeremy Irons talking about math is romance. That's love to him. And how math is absolute truth, only in numbers. You know, if you think about movies like Independence Day, and when you have numbers and repeating sequences, it's the only absolute truth in the universe are numbers and logic. So the movie starts out being touted as a romance because the love of numbers, the love of logic. And Jeremy Irons' character, G.H. Hardy, was an atheist, but, Patel's saying, his character, Rasmussen, is like, wait a minute, I see these things because of a belief in God. So there's this science versus, religion aspect to the movie too that I thought was brilliant. So the movie's beautifully photographed. I forgot to write down the director's name. I think his last name was Dave Brown. I hope it's Matt Brown. I'll put a little CG on here, put the director's name, wrote and directed by him. It's an English film. It's got that really beautiful cinematography and the settings at these beautiful colleges in Trinity where Newton was. So you really have science in this movie and math, and it's really inspirational for someone, that wants to learn something like that. Because someone like me have absolutely no clue how math works, but this is exciting to find someone who comes along like an Isaac Newton or a Albert Einstein that changes the world with their theories. But where he comes from, where Rasmussen comes from, is absolutely his backstory, and what he accomplished was just truly an amazing feat. All right, so check it out. It's really cool. The theory, the man he knew, and oh my God, I can't believe this. The man. I already said the title. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. I'm Jeffrey Gay Howard. I'm going to go do some math problems. See you next time.